Now we know that this guy would need 126 during these 8 hours. So all we have to do is we can design, say, 10 different 10 different rest periods. So R1, R2, all the way until R10. And each will be about 12 minutes. 12 minutes. So totally, there are 10 rest periods. Each rest period is about 12 minutes. Because totally, he will need this amount of rest. So you spread them out evenly. That's a pretty nice design. Right? But there are still other questions. Can this 10 minutes allow this person, if he is already very tired, is this enough? So there are some other considerations. If this guy is working in agriculture, in logistics, loading deck, obviously he is much higher than this. How about this? He's working 16 kilocalories per minute. This will be a very large. Please calculate it. Maybe just like this, 16. So what would be the total time duration? Three hundred? 364. Okay, so totally you need 360. That's 6 hours. 6 hours. So how do you distribute it? So that means probably you work for only probably 10-20 minutes. And then you take a lot of rest. So each cycle is like this. Okay? Let's say just 360. Okay, so totally you need 360. So the total work duration will be just 120. 120 for work, 360 for rest, and you need to separate them, spread them out. So that means probably just 10 minutes work, and then what's the ratio here?
3.
Okay, so 1 minute work, 3 minutes rest.
Yeah.
1 minute work, 3 minutes rest. 1, 3, and all the way. Now, is it possible? It depends on the job. If this guy is lifting, is doing very heavy job, of course. 1, 3, 1, 3, and all the way. Otherwise, he cannot survive here. Or maybe 10, 30, 10, 30. That's another possibility. So normally we would maintain a cycle which is feasible, but also not so hard on the person, on the worker. And then we have to consider what is the maximum workload allowed here. So basic idea is this. The rest duration equation only gives the total time of rest. The optimal ranging of total rest duration into different different times at work needs further consideration. The optimal condition is this: the worker stops when the lactic acid begins to accumulate. Rest duration required at this time will be minimal. The work bout duration should not be left to workers to determine based on their sensation of fatigue. That would be too late already. So if you are doing sports, you are riding the bike, you are bike lovers, your trainer, your coach, always tell you the same thing. Don't wait until you are thirsty to drink the water. The same thing. You need to schedule a rest, otherwise you cannot finish. If you are talking about riding a bike for 16 hours, jogging for 48 hours, marathon, you need to keep the pace correctly. Don't leave it to workers. The workers always prefer to work at very high intensity and then take the home and go home. Okay, there are other consideration, further consideration. Okay. This one. This is a good one. TW is the maximum work bout duration, the maximum work. The maximum time allowed to work so as not to cause problem. The time for depletion of this energy reserve at the workload M is this. So TW must be smaller than T max, which is equal to 25 minus M divided by M minus 5. Okay, so in this case, let me show you how to do this. M is our M, which is this here. So M is 6.25. So T max is 25 divided by 6.25 minus 5. So what is the T max? 20. Huh? 20. Okay, so is that right? 20. So what does that mean? When you schedule the rest, it was, what is the rest? I forgot. 130, right? It was 130 minutes. When you schedule the 130 minutes, okay, make sure each work bout is less than 20 minutes. Maximum one is 20. 20 and then some rest. 20 and some rest. Okay? Got the idea? So the first step is to calculate the total rest. Okay, which was, let's recover it back. That's 6.25 here. So what that is about 134. Is that right?
126.
126. Okay. So we have to design 126 into the 8 hours. Okay. But each work bout must be less than 20 minutes. Alright. So this must be less than 20. And total R, total summation of the total rest should be equal to this, right? And then try to spread it out evenly. That way, you are making sure that, okay, this guy would not be overloaded. And this guy has good rest, distributed evenly throughout the 8 hours. Okay, got the idea? You have to use this also. That's about it, I think, yes. Okay, let's take a 10 minutes break, and we'll go back to other topic.